Hey, it's Shahar. Welcome back to my channel, to the Witchy Reader. So I'm gonna be doing um a video, a Valentine's Day themed video. It's a little bit late because Valentine's Day was what, 2 days ago? It's the 16th now. And this probably won't even go up until either tomorrow or the day after. Depends on when I get the editing done. But I'm going to be talking about my favorite book ships. So basically, um for this, I'm not gonna be talking about every ship I like. Um, for some of my favorite series, I'll just talk about the ships. I might have one or two ships from named from that series, even if there are a lot more ships. And I can really like those ships, but I don't consider them one of my all-time favorites. I don't get overly excited whenever I get to read about them again, or I don't just think about them on a daily basis, um, or like to rant about them or gush about them because I can be a fangirl at times with some of my favorite ships. So I'm just going to talk about my favorite book ships. Um, so these are the ones that I absolutely love for whatever reason. I just love these ships more than others. And even if I don't name a ship, like I know I have two Grishaverse. They're actually both from Shadow and Bone, or not Shadow and Bone, Six Crows. Um, on here, and I do love more Grishaverse ships, but I don't consider them one of my all-time favorites. Like, so sorry if I missed a ship you guys really like. These are just my personal favorites, ships that I just love reading about, and ships that I just felt more drawn to, I guess. I don't know. I just love these for whatever reason. So, I have Ginny and Harry from Harry Potter. I don't know if anyone's gonna be surprised. I mean, you shouldn't be surprised that Harry Potter's at least on this list, like I have an obsession. But they are my favorite ship from the books, for those of you that do not know. The movies ruined them, sadly. The movies decided to ruin not only my favorite character but my favorite ship. My favorite character is Ron. But yeah, Henny, Ron. Oh my gosh, I almost said Ron, Jenny. You. Jenny and Harry are my favorite book ship, and I absolutely love them. They're definitely one of my top favorites. I just love the progression. Like, I know some people think it came out of nowhere, but I don't think it did. First of all, in Half Blood Prince, his feelings for Jenny stuck up on him. But I honestly think he started having slight feelings for her in Order of Phoenix. Like, there's just a few things, like their first official um talk where they're completely by themselves, and Jenny gave him hope for the first time. Then there was the scene when near the beginning when Jenny started showing um started to actually relax and be herself around Harry. So it's like the first time he actually gets to see the real Jenny without that shy, fumbling girl that's really not who she is, except for when she was around Ginny the previous books. And not to mention there was that awesome scene when she called him off for, kind of being a jerk, and he was like um he said I'm trying to remember the exact quote now. My brain's it's late. My brain's not wanting to work with me today. But she he said I just want to be alone. I didn't want anyone to talk to me. She was like, that's a bit stupid of you, considering I'm the only person you know that's ever been possessed by you know who, and I can tell you how it feels. Jenny's awesome. But yeah, and I feel like it was the first time since Chamber of Secrets where her trauma was addressed. I know that she was never like close to Jenny, but I still feel like her trauma should have been addressed more, especially after Order of the Phoenix when the two of them actually get together and are close. I just feel like her trauma was always so overlooked, and yeah. But anyways, moving on. Um, and I honestly believe he started having like these feelings for Jenny in Order of the Phoenix, and then in Half Blood Prince he when he starts to real and then Half Blood Prince, like Heart of Phoenix is when his feelings for her first manifested, but then in Half Blood Prince when he just started slowly realizing it until he couldn't hide it anymore. But yeah, not to mention they had an amazing first kiss, one of my favorite first kisses ever. Like, I just love it. Like, I probably could quote that thing is like, without planning it, without thinking about it, without think uh I messed it up. But it was like without thinking about it, without planning, without worrying that 50 people were watching them. Harry kissed her. It was just so sweet. Um, but honestly, I love to get that from Harry's point of view because I love to see his happiness and how he looks over to Ron and makes sure he's okay, with it because that was a big thing about Half-Blood Prince. It was something he had to work on. Like he had these feelings for Jenny, but he also um didn't want it to ruin his friendship with Ron because his friendship with Ron was the most important thing to him in the world. But but yeah, and I would have loved to see that chapter or at least that scene in Jenny's point of view, just because like sh- she 100% I believe that she did not realize Harry had feelings for her. Like it just came so off guard. Like I would have loved to see her shock to the fact that the crush she had when she was like what 11 is kissing her, and uh fact that the entire book she was oblivious to his feelings for her, and I just would have loved to see that scene in her point of view be and her shock and her thought process over realizing Harry likes me after all these years. About time. But anyways, moving on because I ranted a little bit more than I meant to. Ron and Hermione from Harry Potter because I love them. I love them in the movies. And I feel like the movies, I don't want to say the movies did them better than the books because I don't believe that. I don't think the movies ruined them either, like they ruined Henny. I don't like some things they did for Ron's character. That's about it, just because they did ruin my favorite character. But when it comes to Ron and Hermione in the movies, I feel like because the books are in Harry's point of view, all of the Hermione and Ron moments we got were from his point of view, and the ones that we didn't and then because of it there's some moments that we didn't even get, obviously, like we didn't even get to see them go in the Chamber of Secrets. Like I fully believe that I consider it, and at least in my head I had canon that their first kiss was like the one in the movies in the Chamber of Secrets, um because we didn't get to see it because Harry wasn't there. And then the kiss, when Ron mentions getting the house elves out and free and Hermione kisses him, I consider that their second kiss. Maybe that's just me, I don't know, but I did love a lot of things they did with them in the movies because they could explore them a little bit more without being under like in Harry's point of view, like from Harry's mindset. We got to see Ron and Hermione from their own mindset, and I really did love that, and I do love them. I feel like opposites attract works great, and Ron is a lot smarter than people give him credit for, especially since the movies didn't do him nearly enough justice. So I don't buy that can't keep up with her conversations or her high intelligence or whatever. Like he constantly talks up with her with high up things. Like maybe he's not as smart as her, but he definitely has his moments, and he definitely is a lot smarter. Plus, he plays chess. You have to be a genius to play chess, okay? Um, but yeah, I love Ron and Hermione. Um, Khalik and Yukon from Seekers. This is my only Seeker ship. I do love, um, I say Toklo and Ayana is okay. We don't get that much of them, and I do really like Lusa and Miki, but I love Khalik and Yukon. That is the ship we get the most, so it's mostly fleshed out. But I also just really loved it. Like I love seeing them worry about each other and how much they care about each other, and how Yukon was willing to leave his entire life behind to travel with her because she wanted to travel with her friends some more until they all find their perfect homes. But then she realizes that she wanted to go with Yukon to his home after they find homes for Toklo and Lusa, and it's just really sweet. And when Yukon got hurt, when he stepped on a bear trap and his paw was almost came off, he lost a couple of uh toes, and and then Khalik was worried about him so much. Like it was after Udrak had died, so she already and her mom had died early on. So she like and then also Nanook died on her. Like honestly, her and Toklo obviously have the most tragic past, but I consider her to have the most tragic past just because it's like she literally loses everybody. Uh, but and you can just feel her emotions, especially in the her point of view chapters, because the point of view chapter switches beyond the main characters, and I just love how it's like you can really feel, and like there's this one specific line that was just so heartbreaking. She says, I don't remember the exact quote, but she basically says like, I can't lose anyone else, or I can't lose him too, something like that. And it was just so heartbreaking because it makes you think about everybody she lost, especially since the loss of Udrak was still so fresh at that point, if I remember correctly. And so she lost her mom. She lost Nanook, who kind of became a motherly figure for a short time. Then she lost her brother Takik, but that wasn't literally like he didn't die. They were just separated for a long time, and it took forever to find him. And then they separated again, but this time was by choice because they realized their paths were going in different ways. And then she lost one of her best friends. Not to mention, she almost loses Lusa and Toklo on a daily basis. Honestly, all three of them almost die so many times. And then she loves Yukon so much, and she's so afraid to lose him too, and it's just so heartbreaking. And then yeah, but in the last chapter is kind of a bit of a flash forward, and then you see them all reunite, at the friends reunite, and Kaliki and Yukon have cubs now, and yeah, it's cute. um so Yukon survived, but they were just so cute. So I have Rebecca and Sai from Monster High Girlfriends. They weren't really an official couple, like they never actually got together, but it was canon that Sai had a crush on her, and it never directly stated that Rebecca had a crush on him, but I think she did. There were just some lines and some ways she reacted towards him that made me believe she had a crush on him. I just don't think she realized it. Um, but I absolutely love them. I wish they did get together. Like they're just so cute, and how he's always so worried about her, so protective of her, and she just gushes over him and just loves to talk about how smart he is, how sweet he is, and they're just so cute. Like I just wish they had officially become a couple because they they were just so adorable, and I love them. Um, Then in Six Crows we have Jesper and Wylan, which is my favorite Grisha ship. Great Grishaverse ship. I absolutely love them. They are so cute, and they became my favorite couple. Like I just I'm currently rereading the Six Crows duology. I reread Six Crows, and now I need to reread Crooked Kingdom, and just rereading it, I love it so much. Like I love how my laptop's gonna die. Give me a sec. I love how uh just like Jesper's just so he thinks like it's like they think so highly of each other, but Jesper also kind of sees himself kind of actually they both are pretty insecure. Like Wyland's insecurities are more obvious because Jesper is more of a flirt and everything, but Wyland's insecurities are more obvious, especially after you discover that he can't read and he's very insecure about that, despite the fact being a genius. I love when Jasper actually brought that up. I think it was to his dad. I don't remember exactly when he brought that up, but he made a comment about that. He's like, "So what if he can't read? Like he's smarter than all of us combined, or something like that." And I like when Jesper's dad told Wyland that he was good for him, and that made Wyland happy because he was like, it meant a lot that Jesper's dad thought he was good enough for his son. And then I love how Jesper like he got so upset with Wyland's face change because he was like, maybe I liked your stupid face, and this one comment when you find out that Kaz like knew about what Wyland was really doing. Wyland lied to him to do something, but was really going to find his mother, and he actually knew. Kaz knew the entire time that that's what he was doing, and knew what state his mom was in. So Jesper got really mad at Kaz. Like it's one of the only times you actually see Jesper go off on Kaz, and he was like, I don't think he actually said this part. I think this was in his thought process in his POV chapter. But he was like, it's one thing for Cass to do that to the rest of us, but Wylan isn't like the rest of us. Like he just sees Wylan so high on such a different level than the rest of them. Like he sees the rest of them as basically like bar- barrel scum, but then he sees Wylan like he even at one point referenced them as like the Prince and the Pauper. Like he legit. Well, he no, it's like he said that he was Prince turned Pauper or something like that. But I just love how I just love them. They are my favorite Grisha first ship by far. I love them, and I can rant about them all day. But let's move on. I also have Kaz and Inej on here. I do love them as well. They're my second favorite Grisha first ship, and I also love them. I love how Kaz is really great with emotions and feelings and stuff. But you see how much he cares about her, like when she was kidnapped, and I love to see when Inej gets kidnapped because it's like uh he he looks towards her, and that's what made them realize how much he cares about her. So that's when they decide to go after Inej to get Cass to give them what they want, and and how happy he was when she was free. And I love when Inej asks Kaz why the net, and Kaz's thought process, he's like, yeah, why the net? Why the one thing that could jeopardize the entire mission? And it's like, because I can't watch you, I can't let you fall or something like that. And it's just so sweet, especially since he had almost lost her like a couple times. Like not only did she almost die to get everybody to the boat at the beginning of Six Girls, but then she also got kidnapped at the end of Six Girls. She went through hell. But and then uh they're really cute. I was like Jasper and Wyland more, but I still do love Kaz and Inej. Then Annabeth and Percy from Percy Jackson. I absolutely love them. I love their story arc. I love how in Percy Jackson and the Olympians you get to see them from friends to lovers, like and the slow progressions, like and they honestly their relation kind of reminds me a little bit of Ron and Hermione. I still like Ron and Hermione more. Maybe it's because I have been reading Harry Potter since I was in like second, third grade. Percy Jackson, I'm still new to. I'm still a new member of the fandom, but uh, they they like tease each other and stuff, and um, they can fight sometimes, but a lot of their fights were usually out of jealousy, which is the same thing as Ron and Hermione. Um, but then at the end, they finally kiss. They become something more. They and then and here's but the difference is we actually get to see more of them because here's Olympus came and we got to see them grow as a couple, even though I still prefer Ron and Hermione because I'll forever prefer Harry Potter over Percy Jackson, even though Percy Jackson is now one of my favorite series. It will never be Percy Jackson, or it will never be Harry Potter. um I mean, nothing can be Harry Potter and Secrets. Those are like my favorites. But I uh absolutely love to get to see more of them and see them as a couple, see them grow as a couple, and see how much they care about each other. And I love to see them. I love seeing them survive in Tartarus and stuff. Um, and I just loved seeing their progression and how much they care about each other. And now they, after high school, they plan to go to New Rome for college and have their life together. It's just so sweet. Um, then I also have Nico and Will from Percy Jackson. I haven't seen as much about them yet because I'm still reading the Percy Jackson books. Um, I'm waiting for on Libby for the King Chronicles to get in so I can listen to those. Because I think I need to listen to those first, and then the kind of crossovers between with Percy and Annabeth, and then Magnus Chase, and then Charles Paulo. At least that's what I think the order is. That's what I was told. So that's what I'm doing. Um, and I think you get more of Nico and Will and Charles Paulo. Plus, they also have their new standalone book coming out this year. I don't remember when, but sometime this year. And but what I did see of them in Heroes Olympus, I fell in love with them like immediately. Like very few times have I fallen in love with a ship that quickly, but I just loved it. And there were just a few lines I absolutely love, like Nico sees so. It honestly kind of reminded me of Jesper and Violet. It's like Nico sees himself so low, but Will sees Nico so much higher. Like I love that one line. It was probably one of my favorite lines between the two of them so far. Where they were talking to Octavian, and then Nico said, I'm gonna after this is all over, I'm gonna leave both camps for good. And then Nico explains it like Will was sucker punched, and then Will was like, "Why would you do that?" And Nico basically was like, nobody cares about me, this and that." Will was like, "You have friends, or at least people who want to be your friends. If you can't stop getting in your own way, or whatever the heck the quote was." But I absolutely loved it. It was like, and I had kidded that whenever, because Nico at the end of Percy Jackson, Nico was actually at Camp Half Blood for a little while before he decided to leave. Um, and I actually had canon that I don't know if this is canon because, like I said, I haven't continued Percy Jackson yet. I do plan to, but so I don't know if this is stated, but I'm pretty sure Will had got too close to Nico during those times and had a crush on him, like because I don't know, he just seemed at this point to already have a crush on him. So I think Will had a crush on Nico before. We just didn't get to see that, and now I kind of want to write fanfiction about it. If anyone wants me to do that, let me know, cause I might. I write fanfiction on Wattpad. And then I also have Ziri and Brink from Bewitched and Oz. Now we're on more of the underrated series. I mean, I have a couple underrated series, but the rest of these are probably more unknown. At least I never hear anyone talk about them. So I love Bewitched and Oz. This is a duology. Definitely highly recommend. And Ziri and Brink are just so cute. Like at the beginning, Ziri basically doesn't think much of Brink. They both have magic, but magic is outlawed. Ziri, along with her two best friends who also have magic, we're all kind of practicing their magic in secret. And then Brink sees them and reveals he has magic and wanted to join them. And Ziri has a crush on Brink's older brother, and so she doesn't see, and she kind of just thinks of Brink as her crush's annoying little brother. But then when they get caught and one of her friends get kidnapped and they have to go try to save her, plus on the way they want to see if they can make magic legal again, they're forced to talk and get to know each other. And Ziri, and it's in Ziri's point of view, so Ziri actually gets really close to Brink and actually starts to develop feelings for him. And they're just so cute, and I love reading about them. And I should really reread that duology now. But yeah, and I just loved, and Brink was willing to risk a lot to save Ziri, and Ziri was willing to risk a lot to save Brink, and it was just a lot of fun, and they were just so cute to read about. Then I also have Allie and Mikey from the Skinjacker trilogy. Ever Lost, Ever Wild, and Ever Found. Definitely highly recommend as well, especially if you like Neil Shusterman. I know he is kind of a popular author. Like I've heard people talk about his other works, but I've never heard anyone talk about this work, which makes me sad because I love this trilogy. But Ali and Mikey, they're basically enemies to friends to lovers, and um, they're just really cute. Like in the first book, they're flat out enemies. Second book, they're friends, and the third book, they're at the end of the second book. I think is when they start to realize their feelings. Like in the second book, you can kind of see their feelings, but in the third book, they're kind of actually separated most of that book because Allie's kidnapped, and then Mikey, along with Nick, I think it's just them, or did he team up with someone else? I don't remember. Are trying to save her, and and then and what and it's like this, and the ending is just so bittersweet. So spoilers if you haven't seen it, but basically, so skip ahead if you haven't read it or want to read it or whatever. But basically, um, so they're all dead. Like in the very first chapter, Allie and Nick die. And so they're in the life in between life and death. But you find out that Allie's not actually dead, she's just in a coma, so she can wake up. And Mikey at the end ends up moving on, and Allie wakes up. So they're separated, and so it's kind of a bittersweet ending. Like it's like they don't end up together, which you don't see very often. But I do love them, like their banter. Uh, Even after they got close and started adventuring together, and were friends who were developing feelings for each other, um, they they still uh they just would bicker and stuff, and like Allie got close to some other skinjackers and Mikey got jealous, and then Allie thought Mikey left her, and then they got reunited again only to get separated, and you see how much they actually care about each other, how much they were willing to risk everything for each other, and they just so cute because like Mikey was a monster or saw himself as a monster, kind of both, and Allie saw this other side to him, and they even referenced Beauty and the Beast in the first book. Like she was like, "I'm not all about the Beauty and the Beast," but she does fall for him, and uh, and I just really love their development, and they're just really cute. Then I have Maya and Aiden from the Effigies trilogy, another good trilogy, and it's in Maya's point of view, and she finds out she's the next fire effigy. So the effigies are, there's 4 effigies at a time. Each one can control a different element, and then when one dies, the next one is called and gets that power and stuff. So she's the next fire effigy, and then Aiden, who works for like the, I guess, the government, and because the effigies kind of work for the government, trying to help save the world and keep phantoms from overrunning the world. So he is sent to track her down the next fire effigy, and is able to um bring her. And there's some complications to their relationship because you find out some dark things about Aiden, but he's still a good guy. Like he was basically kind of manipulated into doing things, bad things. It's kind of complicated. It has been a hot minute since I've read the series, but they're just really good. Like Maya struggled with trusting Aiden when she figured that out, but then she still chose him over everyone else. And because of it, she was almost killed when someone else found out the truth. It's this whole thing, but they were really cute, and I really liked seeing them. They did end up together, and it was really cute. Um, and then I have Poppy and Isabella from Hocus Pocus in the all new sequel. They're really cute too. I only saw the sequel movie once because the sequel movie sucked. But I love the sequel book, which I still think they should have adapted this into one because I actually prefer the sequel book over the original. Like the stakes were higher, and I love the characters. I don't So there's Poppy, who's the daughter of Max and Allison, and her best friend Travis, and then her crush Isabella, and her frenemy Katie, and um, she she already has a crush on Isabella at the beginning, obviously, but it kind of follows Poppy, so you don't know if Isabella has a crush on her, but Travis, her best friend, who knows about the crush, tells her that she does because this year she just started like she's the most popular girl in school, but then this year she's just been hanging out with the two of them for like no reason at all. Like they don't even know why she just started hanging out with them this year. And so Travis is like, she obviously has a crush on you. Why else would she be hanging out with us? Uh, and you find out that she does have a crush on her, like at the end when they finally get together. But they were just so cute, and um, I just love reading about them. Like they really should have adapted this into a movie instead of doing that stupid sequel movie, which sucked. This was just so much better. I mean, the stakes were higher than even the original, and you get to meet the girl's mom, the Sanderson witch's mom, and like I don't want to spoil anyone, but let's just say the stakes were 10 times higher than the either movie, the original or the sequel movie. So yeah, it's a lot of fun. Definitely highly recommend, especially if you want a sapphic ship because they were awesome to read about. Then I also have Astra and Luco from my current series I am reading, which is an indie series. Definitely highly check it out. This is book 3, The Exiled, A Game of Wits. Book 1 is called The Exiled Shade and Shadow. That's what it's called. And Astra and Luca are just so cute. Like in the first book, I was they were just friends, and I was like, I would have been okay. I think I mentioned in one of my videos when I was talking about it, but it's like I was okay if they would have stayed just friends because we do need more platonic friendships and friendships in general. And but I also would have been okay if they became something more because I could see it going out of the way, and I loved their friendship and a potential relationship, no matter which. But this book, it does look like it's going in the relationship way, and I'm okay with it. Like I said, I was okay with whichever way it went, and I'm loving them. Like they're both going through some PTSD, especially Astra. Like she's been through some serious hell. But and right now they basically don't trust anyone but each other. So like they're at Luco's uncle's place, and Astra keeps just start looking at Luco like, cause like she only trusts him and everything. And they're just so cute. Like the way they're so awkward. Like I was just reading a scene earlier today when um they were going to dance to a ball. So Lugo was all scared because he doesn't know how to dance, and Ash's reaction to that being what was bothering him was just so adorable. And then she offered to teach him how to dance. It was just such a sweet, awkward scene, and I just loved it. I can't wait to see the actual ball scene and see them dance because I hope they dance together. But um, yeah, they were just so adorable, and I can't wait to read more about them. Sadly, I'll have to wait until book 5 comes out before I get more after I finish this book because Astra and Luca's story is only in every other book, and then the story of other people are in. It's all in the same world though. It's like the odd numbers are Astra and Luca's story, and the even numbers are other people's story, and yeah. But I also have Sandstorm and Firestar from Warriors. They're from the first arc, and you see a little bit of the second arc, but not much. But they are together, and they do have kittens, which is two. Their kittens are two of the main characters in the second arc. But they were just so cute. At first, they did not like each other. Sandstorm was kind of mean towards Firestar, but then the two of them she just started being nicer to him, which again, even though her friend didn't like it, and because she started liking him, and then he started getting close to her and being able to rely on her, when he felt alone, and they just got close and fell in love, and they're just really cute. Leafpool and Crowfeather from the second arc. I'm currently rereading the first two arcs, which is all I've read so far of Warriors, and then I'm gonna reread or read for the first time the rest of the series. And Leafpool and Crowfeather, I remember really loving. Um, they were kind of forbidden for two different reasons. One, Leafpool was a trainee for an apprentice. That's the word I was looking for becoming the next medicine cat in her clan, and medicine cats aren't allowed any sort of romantic relationship or to have kids of their own because their entire sole purpose is supposed to be making sure the clan's okay, protecting the clan, healing the clan, and all that. So first of all, she's not allowed to be in a relationship if she's gonna be the next Medicus cat. But also, Crowfeather's from a whole other clan in the first place, and you're definitely not supposed to. Which this isn't the first time you see a forbidden relationship like that, because in the first arc, Gray, what's his name? Greystone? No, that's not right. It's not Greyfeather. Oh, crap! What's his name? I forgot his name now. Um, but Firestar's best friend falls in love with Silverstream, and I remember her name. How do I remember her name, not his? I like him. Greystrike, that's his name. I like his character, and I can't even remember his name. But they fall in love, and he does end up leaving the clan, but that's kind of a long thing. Um, but Leafpool and Crowfeather fall in love, even though they're not supposed to. Like it's forbidden, and it's probably one of my favorite forbidden relationships I've ever read about, and I absolutely love them. Then the last one I have is let me try that again. Kyoshi and Rangi from um from the Kyoshi novels. The duology from about the Avatar Last Airbender character Kyoshi, who is the Avatar at this time, and Kyoshi and Rangi were just so cute. Like, Kyoshi's bisexual, and at the very beginning, she has feelings for this guy. Forgot his name now. Yon, I think is his name, and so she has feelings for him, but then he kind of dies. This long story, like he kind of sort of dies, like you think he dies, but he really isn't dead. And he comes back in the sequel. It's just this whole mess. But um, then she finds out this. she's the Avatar, and then everything she's ever known was a lie. She gets just so angry and stuff, so her and Rangi kind of leave and are on the run. Rangi went to, because she didn't want Kyoshi to go alone, she cared about Kyoshi. While they're gone, the two of them actually grow closer, and Kyoshi falls in love with her. She falls in love with Kyoshi too, and uh, they were just really cute. Like some of their sweet scenes, and when they admit how they feel about each other, and then some of their scenes in season and book 2, like when Rangi gets pretty badly hurt and you think she dies. I thought she was gonna die because I from the knowledge from Avatar: Last Airbender, you know she does end up dying, and which breaks Kyoshi's heart. But apparently that doesn't happen yet, and it happens sometime in the future. Um, because she survived. And the conversation between them when Rangi was revealed to be okay was really sweet, and I just really enjoyed reading about them, and they were just really cute. And I was glad to hear more about Kyoshi because I always liked what we knew about her from Avatar, and yeah. And I mean, we always knew she was bisexual and that she had this relationship with Rangi, but we never really, other than knowing that Rangi died, like we didn't know much about Kyoshi and Rangi, and we got to see more of that here. And they did not fail. They delivered, and it was really beautiful, and I love reading about it. So, so thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, and comment your favorite fictional book couples. I would love to hear. Tell me if you've read any of these, like any of these couples, and I will talk to you guys next time.